I never thought I'd wake up one morning to find construction. Crews on my private island. No calls, no emails, no permits. Just heavy machinery, workers in neon vests, and the sound of drills echoing across the beach. At first, I thought it was a mistake, maybe a maintenance team or a government project. But when I saw the logo on their trucks, it wasn't the government. It was the HOA. The island wasn't much. Just a few acres of untouched land in the middle of the bay. Inherited it from my grandfather, who bought it back in the 1950s for next to nothing. He used to say, "Land is the only thing they can't make more of, and so hold on to it." I listened. I kept every deed, every record, every tax receipt. Over the years, developers tried to buy it. Environmental groups wanted to lease it, but I never sold. That island was more than land. It was legacy. So when I saw that construction crew, I knew this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was theft, done with confidence. Narrator. Within weeks, the sound of birds was replaced by generators. They cleared trees, poured foundations, and started erecting walls. At first, I thought about confronting them directly, but I stopped myself. Sometimes the best way to win is to let them hang themselves with their own rope. So I documented everything drone, footage, photos, dates, names of contractors, every single action they took on my land. When I asked around town, people said the HOA had bought the island from a private seller. A company that didn't even exist. 5 months earlier, fake paperwork, shell company. Falsity. They were building a luxury hotel on an island that legally belonged to me. I kept quiet. I wanted to see how far they'd go. By month 3, the hotel was halfway done. Glass walls, infinity pool, marina docks. The HOA had investors, sponsors, even pre-bookings online. They named it the Pearl Resort. I remember standing on my boat one night, watching the lights glow from the unfinished hotel. It looked beautiful and illegal. Soft pause. I wasn't angry. I was patient because I knew something they didn't. The original deed was still in my safe, notarized, registered, and uncontested. Narrator, one morning I decided to visit the site. Walked straight up to the main gate where 2 security guards stopped me. "Guard, sir, this is private property." "You'll need to leave me." "I know. It's mine." They laughed, and that was fine, because I had something they didn't. I pulled out my phone and started recording. Asked for the site manager's name, the developer's contact, and their property documentation. They refused, of course. That video would later become Exhibit A. I hired a property lawyer the next day. He didn't believe me at first, until he saw the deed, registered in my grandfather's name, transferred to mine, taxes paid every single year. We filed a cease and desist, followed by a civil lawsuit for trespassing, illegal construction, and property theft. The HOA responded with confidence. We bought the land legally, so we requested their documents in discovery, and that's when the cracks started to show. The company that sold them the island was dissolved before the sale date. The notary. Signatures didn't match, and their so-called survey report was a copy-paste from another county. They'd built a multi-million-dollar resort on a foundation of lies. The courtroom was packed. HOA representatives sat across from me, confident, polished, arrogant. When the judge asked for proof of ownership, their lawyer presented a glossy binder with contracts and surveys. Then it was my turn. My lawyer handed the judge a single brown envelope. Inside, the original deed, recorded decades earlier, stamped, sealed, verified. You could hear a pin drop when the judge looked up. "Judge, this document predates your client's claim by over 60 years. The HOA lawyer tried to argue, but it was over. The court ruled in my favor, full ownership of the island reinstated, immediate construction halt ordered, and damages payable by the HOA. They had to pay me for trespassing on my own land. Narrator. Within weeks, the construction stopped. Investors pulled out. The hotel that was supposed to open that summer was abandoned. A half-finished monument to arrogance. Reporters called it the island scandal. Locals just called it karma. The HOA tried to settle privately, offering millions to make it go away. But I refused, because it wasn't about money anymore. It was about principle, I had proof, patience, and the law on my side. A few months later, I visited the island again. The cranes were gone. The silence was back. Only the ocean waves, the wind, and the memory of what happened remained. I stood where the lobby would have been, bare concrete now cracked by the tide, and for the first time in a long while, I smiled. They tried to take everything, but in the end, they built their dream on my foundation, and I took it back, legally, completely, and publicly. I've learned something through all of this. The most dangerous kind of thief isn't the one who breaks in at night. It's the one who smiles, shakes your hand, and convinces you he owns what's yours. Sometimes the best revenge isn't anger, it's patience. Because when the truth finally surfaces, it doesn't need to shout. It just stands, unshaken. This is HOA Exposed. And this time, justice was served.